back in the house once again. Up early this morning. Been up for about 2 or 3 hours now. It's about 9:30 in the morning right now. So I've been up for a couple of hours. Getting ready to go out to the garden, right? I showed y'all this in a couple of videos ago, so I don't want to spill this on my table here. But this is my compost. Got pistachio nuts, coffee grounds, onion peels, celery, eggshells, banana peels. Like I said, everything that I do with my garden and my plants, I do it organically, right? And it had me thinking about the root of all things. So that's kind of the basis of this video today. I'm gonna talk shortly about the root of all things, right? Been on videos. I went on a couple of live feeds. I do lead, backyard gardener, a few others who go live from time to time. Um, kind of new to this gardening community thing, and trying to get everybody to get to know me. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. I'm not on here to be popular. I don't like being popular. I was popular when I was younger. I don't like the spotlight, so I'm not on here for popularity and subscribers and all of that. Basically, what it is, whatever comes along with me being on YouTube, is what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So if I get 1,000 subscribers, or if I get 100, or if I don't get 100, it doesn't matter to me. Um, Whatever I'm supposed to get out of this YouTube thing is what I'm gonna get out of it, which is basically knowledge, the passing back and forth of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The sharpening of iron, which is like you teach me, I teach you a little bit. Sharpening of iron. Okay, and so we're talking about the root of all things. Okay, talk about the root of evil. We're talking about the roots. Since I'm gonna be feeding my plants today organically. Okay. Okay, I'm not bad. 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Been here comments, right? And I'm still pretty new to this gardening community thing. Um, I'll explain to you all. I don't join organizations, right? Because nobody's organization is based on off of truth. Not one, right? And what I found out starting at a very young age, um, is if somebody's within that organization and they don't like you for a particular reason, right? They'll start telling, spreading rumors about you, um, planting seeds in people's minds, since we're talking about gardening. And unfortunately, people's minds are fertile, um, for things that are not true. So the way that I am, I try to live a virtuous life, regardless of what people think. I don't have any money. I'm not, so I'm not going to even try to sit up here and play like I have money, but I am educated, right? And that's what I'll always throw at somebody if they ever come at me in the wrong way, talking about what they have because of the little money that they have in their pocket. And the people with the little money in their pocket, they really don't know what money is. You understand what I'm saying? You want to know what wealth is? You want to know what money is? Go back to Europe, okay? Check out the King and Queen of England. You know what I'm saying? That's old wealth. You understand? That's money. And if you think that Oprah Winfrey or like a Jay Z is wealthy, you're highly mistaken. Yeah, they're rich people, but being rich is not having wealth. Understand that. But anyway, money doesn't move me in any way. Yeah, you could buy things. Yeah, it makes life easier. But I was also taught lessons about money as well. You know what I'm saying? Getting down to the root. When I was popular and people saw, I guess when the females saw dollar signs in my future, right? Or if I had, coming out of college and I'm in a managerial position somewhere, I never had problems pulling females, okay? So I never had to chase after them, you know what I mean? Um, Never had to fight for them. Was never that dude to try to get a girl mad, oh, you didn't want to talk to me, so I'm gonna talk to your girl. You know what I'm saying? I know your girl likes me. I'm gonna talk to her to make you mad. I never been that type of dude. I don't mess with chicks in the same clique. Speaking about women as well, um, ever since I moved down here, I don't, I'm in Tuscaloosa. I'm from New York City. Basically, what it breaks down to is that Tuscaloosa's it's if you look around, it can be rich, right? And it should be a wealth of knowledge here, right? My roots, not only in Alabama, but all over the United States of America, goes back as far as anybody, right? Anybody that you can think of. Because my family tree comes from basically three different directions. But it is rooted here in America. And as far as I know from my research, um, we go back at least 2,000 years. Okay? About 2,000 years we've been here. All right, so that's just one lineage, and I'm not talking about the Africans that came through. Obviously, you see that my skin is brown, but considered a black person. Um, but the Africans didn't get here until about, they were already here before Christ. But you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Atlantic slave trade, the root of all things. There was already black people here. There was already dark skinned people here. Okay, and that's who they was confused with my people being when they arrived here because they thought that they were somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But they realized they was in a whole nother continent. But the root of all things, we're talking about truth. So I've been on some people's videos, right? And I've been hearing comments or people will react to something that I say. This is why I don't join organizations because most of these organizations are full of shit. Okay, I usually don't curse, but I'm gonna speak real today. I'm gonna speak 100% real today. Most of these organizations that you call yourselves being tied to, full of shit, right? Nobody. I don't speak to anybody down here. This is where my family's from. My uncles, my cousins, a few great aunts, you know, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Huntsville, you name it. But like I said, my family is not limited to Alabama. Although this is where my parents were born, we've been here for thousands of years. My people are spread out all over the United States, okay? In every major city, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, New York, where I'm from. You can go to upstate New York, you can go out to California, you go to Texas, you go to Louisiana, you go to every state, you're gonna see my family there, okay? And I know about these so-called secret societies. You understand what I'm saying? I have people rooted in there deeply. My brother was one. My grandfather, if you want to call it that, was one. The way that I've always been. I've always succeeded at everything that I've done growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't have to join any organization to be what I am. Because before I was even aware of organizational ties, so on and so forth, I was excelling in everything. Get down, Sam. Athletically, um, and academically. Okay. Some people are one or the other. Some people are athletic. Some people are straight academics. Most of the time, they're not both. But if anybody wants to talk mess, even at my age of 45, if anybody wants to talk mess, right? I'm 45 years old. I run circles around you. Academically, you want to take it into the classroom? I'll write a 40-page paper on you real quick in one night. You understand what I'm saying? Keep up. And I don't need no help. I don't need organizational ties. You understand what I'm saying? So when I went back to school, when I was in school the first time, I didn't need no organizational ties to be who and what I am. Because to be who and what I am doesn't come from no organization. No organization is gonna make me. So I don't join them. That's the way I've always been. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to be popular. I was popular as a kid. I know how that felt. And I know the kind of things that it attracted. The hate, the envy, the jealousy, all of that. So I don't join no organizations to be popular. I don't need to. I stand on my own. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So we're talking about the root of all things, and I made a mention on somebody else's video. Um, Mind your sources. You understand what I'm saying? Just because somebody said something doesn't mean that it's true. So if your mind, right, is fertile for bullshit, that's what you're gonna speak out of your mouth is bullshit. Because you're accepting bullshit instead of going to find out for yourself the information that you need to find out. You're taking somebody else's word for it, and then you start talking about bullshit that somebody else says. When it comes to me, I don't talk to nobody in Tuscaloosa. When I first got down here, yeah, I got to know my family, my cousins, and everything else. But I don't even talk to them now. I stay to myself 100%. You know what I mean? I don't depend on nothing but the Almighty. And speaking of that, my blood type, maybe that has something to do with it. My blood type is O negative. You know what I mean? According to the medical industry, I didn't find this out until years later. Until when I was donating my blood outside of my ex-girl's, she ran a bank. And so she was like, why don't you go down there and donate, they're asking me to get people to donate blood outside her bank. She was a branch manager. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I go donate. Get down, Sam. Get down, Sam. Sam, you gotta get down, buddy. So I go donate my blood, right? And the people became real giddy. And I'm like, and it kind of threw me back for a loop because I'm like, why you all, I was observing their behavior. I'm like, what's going on? The young lady was like, you're a universal donor. Like, what does that mean? She explained it as in, if we was in the war, excuse me, in the United States of America, Sam, you gotta get down, buddy. It's not time to rub you. Watch out. See? You catching on? Watch out. Stay down. Right? So, she explained it as if you're in wartime and they need blood, your blood is gonna be the one they choose. I'm an O negative. That means that every other blood type, O positive, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, A and B, all of these blood types can accept me for healing. So basically, she was telling me I'm a healer. Um, did my studies on it. It didn't, it took me a little while to do my studies on it. When I have time like I do now, when I'm not working, I can go check out what she's saying. Again, getting to the roots of what, of what's being said so I can know for myself. You know what I mean? Um, but on the opposite spectrum of everything, an AB can only take, right? They can't give to nobody because their blood would be rejected. Okay? So I came to the conclusion when I was doing research, and like I said, we were talking about the root. Maybe that's why I'm not really impressed with people, money. Certain things just doesn't impress me. Material things, people showing off. My mom's always taught me when I was young, you don't know how somebody came across that money. And you don't know what they did to get it. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I've been without money for the majority of my adult life. And I got some stories that I can tell. And it's all based off of truth. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another thing why I don't like joining these organizations. Is because of how they came at me. So before I speak on anything, and I tell, the youngsters and my family, sit back and observe people. And when you sit back and observe, you catch on to a lot of things about somebody's true character. And since we're talking about history, the Hebrews didn't come across the God Yahweh when the God Yahweh decided to choose the Hebrew Israelites when they was in Egypt. That's when he became their God. But a little time before that, it was Seti the first. All right, the Pharaoh Seti the first. As far as my knowledge, he was the first one to begin to speak on the hidden gods. Because before that, they were supposed to have been talking to, the so-called gods face to face. It's even in the Bible, okay? Even Moses was talking to somebody face to face. You understand what I'm saying? Up in the mountains. when they was on their little journey out of Egypt, when they was on the run. He was talking to somebody face to face, but we're not going to get into that. But what I was getting at, the point I was getting at, is that the God became hidden, right? And this is the way I base. I was kind of already doing that since I'm an old negative. Yeah, I'm talking shit. I don't let people know who and what I am and what I know. And because I don't have any money, so to speak, because I'm not wealthy or rich, people have this perception of who and what I am. So I'm letting everybody to get to know D Mills a little bit better. All right. Even speaking in this video, I've been speaking for 15 minutes. Even in this video, you're still not going to know who and what I am by talking to you on these videos, because I'm going to only let you know so much. But what I wanted to tell everybody is mind your sources, like my professor at Southern University used to say, one of my history professors. Mind your sources, even if they're within your organization. And like I said, almost every organization, fraternal orders, church organ, everybody's full of shit. And I'm gonna let y'all know, y'all motherfuckers is full of shit, because nothing y'all say is based off truth. All right? If you tell a small lie and you're not telling the whole story, that small lie is gonna make the story false. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're gonna tell a small lie and deceive people about who and what, and I'm gonna talk about me. If you're gonna talk about a small lie, about something, one aspect of my personality, which you know nothing about because I haven't had a discussion with you, and you've never had a discussion with me. So Tuscaloosa could go to hell. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? When that hurricane or that tornado came through here in 2011, and I left to go back to school, a whole bunch of people who used to talk about D Mills, they don't have houses no more. They lost loved ones. They had to start over. You understand what I'm saying? There's a much powerful force out there than some organizations. I don't believe in organizations. Yeah, I'm joining this garden community because it's something that I do naturally. But I'm not looking to get any benefit but a little bit of knowledge about how to garden. You know, you teach me some things, I teach you. But I'm not giving myself up trying to be shamed to try to join somebody's shit. And I'm not going to allow anybody to talk shit about who and what I am, or pass around rumors. Something, my mom's, she told me to always keep myself neat, keep yourself clean shaven. And I had to look back on videos to kind of peep with somebody, or a couple of people were making innuendos about it, and I saw what they were saying. Or I saw what they thought they were seeing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, unless you know, don't speak on them. This is D Mills talking to you. I'm gonna finish off this video doing what I originally came here to do, which was to take my compost here from all the food that I eat. I have a plant out there where I have my peppers. I grew my jalapeno peppers last year. I didn't overwinter it, so the plants died. So I'm gonna take that pot, and I'm gonna throw this inside that pot. But I have another pot inside my shed back there that I've been using to create compost. Excuse me, for the whole year. So that's originally why I came on, to do this video. I've been talking for 18, 19 minutes now. It wasn't my intent, but I felt some things had to be said. Because I'm dealing with the root of all things. And like I said, if you don't know something, and this goes for everything in life, if you don't know something, it's best to go research it on your own. And there's a such thing as primary source and a secondary source. So if you want to know something about me, come and ask me, the primary source. Don't assume nothing that nobody says, especially if it's coming through your organizational ties, family ties, and all of that other bullshit. I'm the primary source. You want to know something? Come to me and ask me, and I'll let you know. Other than that, I'll be right back, YouTube. Know what I'm saying? Going outside now. It's kind of cold, but I'm going to go outside and do my thing. I'll be right back.